right, and welcome back to another edition of ACF411, the official podcast of the Allen County Fair, powered by Nutrien. I'm your host, Russ Decker, and joining me in the podcast parlor, here in the old milking parlor at the Allen County Fair, from the Ohio State University Extension Service here in Allen County, Garth McDorman. Garth, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Russ. Appreciate it.
I almost called you Extension Agent. That's how old I am, but you actually have a much sexier title now.
Yeah, yep. So I'm the Ag and Natural Resources Extension Educator for Allen County OSU Extension.
Wow, so that probably takes like 2 business cards to get all of that.
Pretty much, yeah. Front and back, actually.
Yeah, okay. Hey, so obviously, this is the 9-day fair is the showcase of agriculture and all that's good about agriculture here in Allen County, where it is our #1 industry. So as the Ag and Natural Resource Educator for the county, what's your role during Fair Week?
I don't really have, set duties here and there, but, sitting in the same office as a 4-H educator, I definitely told her that I want to, commit some of my time throughout the week, for the youth, of course, while tackling other responsibilities that my day-to-day job has, right? Answering some phone calls that come in from the public. But yeah, during the fair here, I want to, sit down with some of the youth, go to each show, support them in any way possible. And I've been able to do that so far, and it's been really fun. We got really great youth here in Allen County, and I love it.
Yeah, we do. I think we had Kelly on here yesterday, and I think she was telling us 1,400 or so. You've got a fan club outside the window here at the podcast studio. Well, that's pretty nice.
Some of our junior fair board kids, great kids. I've gotten to know them really well. Connor, Kara, Vivian, and Ava. Yeah, they're really great kids. Like I said, just a testament to who they are and our board.
Well, that's not what they said about you earlier in the week, but that's a whole nother story. They want you to pick a card there.
They said I'm our favorite intern is what it says. They keep calling me the intern because I've only been here for around 7-8 months, so I'm still kind of getting my feet wet. And they call me the intern, unfortunately.
Well, they look like they could probably teach you how to do this.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, we've got some well-versed children out here, and like I said, really good kids.
And a good place to start is helping clean up barns. That's a good place to get your feet wet.
I did that for 9 years as a youth. I showed beef here at this same fair for 9 years as a kid, and I've done plenty of barn cleaning. I do it at home still today, so I think I'll leave it to them this week. But if they really needed me, I could jump in if need be.
Well, I was actually we were headed there anyway because this is your first fair as our official, our ag guy for the county. But this is not your first Allen County fair. Tell me a little about your family history of farming here in the Allen County area and your role here.
Yeah, yep. So my great-great-grandfather settled in eastern Allen County in the early 1900s. My grandfather was born on the farm that I live at now, actually the same house that I was born and raised at as well, right there at our home farm. We have 2 houses back-to-back on the same driveway at our home farm. Kind of unique, just south of Herod over there on the eastern part. And then growing up, my dad showed livestock at the fair here. My older brother, he was 2 years older than me, so he started showing beef steers when he was 9. And then, so I started hanging out here when I was, 7 and he was 9. And then after that, when I turned 9, I started showing fat steers as well. And all 9 years, showed beef steers, showed chickens for 2. So I've been here a lot, and I love it, like I said. And then now in the capacity I am, I get to spend more time at the fair. My family and I are camping here for the first time since I was 18 years old. So it's kind of like full circle, if you will.
It's got to make you feel good. I mean, because you're a hometown guy, you get what it means to be at the Allen County Fair. It's a big deal for these kids.
Very much so, yeah. And like I said, we've got a lot of great families that I've gotten to know, personally and professionally now, working in the private industry here in this county for a few years before I started this role. So yeah, it's great to see some familiar faces out and about, and like I said, great kids from great families in our barns. And like I said, it's a testament to who they are and what they're doing out there.
As a part of your role, do you do any judging during the fair?
Not during the fair. I did judge the FFA projects prior to the fair for some of their projects like woodworking, welding, and other things. But they have not called me up yet to do any actual judging during the fair. So some prior to, but not right now.
Because I was going to think, I think that's got to be the toughest job on the fair and nobody ever talks about them. But the judges, I mean, what a thankless job that they do in every area. And you've got another fan outside. Man, you bring more fans with you, Garth, than anybody we've had.
Good or bad, they're here. That's right. Yeah, but no, I agree with you, Russ. You know, the judging. My wife, as she was raised in the livestock industry, excuse me, she went to Ohio State and was on the Ohio State livestock judging team, judged all over the country doing that. And I've learned to appreciate that even more just from hearing her experiences and seeing what she's been through, and you know where she's judged. She's judged several county fairs across Ohio. Doesn't do it anymore, you know, with family and kids growing. But yeah, I've learned to appreciate what they do, and I think it's, like you said, a very thankless job. But it takes one man or one woman's opinion, and that's where we end up at the end of the day.
Yep. So one of the things I want to, since I saw we had you coming up on the schedule, I thought let's talk a little bit about the extension service, because I think a lot of people. I mean, I think people would be surprised because they think of you only as maybe farming, and you know, hey, help me increase my yields on my corn field or my bean field. But you field phone calls about, hey, what's this bug I found on my evergreen tree, or how come my grass isn't growing like it used to in my yard? Talk about like what your job is and what you do day to day to help the people of Allen County.
Yeah, and then very diverse, and that's what I love about it. That's what I'm becoming passionate about in the job. I mean, I've fielded phone calls in this short 7 months about, you know, like you said, grass problems or their yard, trees dying. We've seen a rather large increase in disease pressure across, you know, not only in the fields or like agricultural fields this year, but like I stated, the yards, the trees, the ponds actually even as well, mostly due to the drought that we had the year prior, right? That really warm and hot and dry late July, August we had last year. We can kind of remember that during the fair, I'm sure. Yep. And yeah, we've seen a lot of problems stem from that drought, and we're still seeing a little bit here even this summer too. But yeah, so diversity of things. I'm still learning a little bit of that. I'll be the first one to admit, right? My background is in agriculture, more in the private sector of farm business side of things. So got a lot to learn, and you know, I guess the natural resources and even plant pathology or even agronomy side of things on the agriculture. So, but as I go, Ohio State's a good place to learn, and we continually teach people and ourselves as well. It's what we thrive on.
Well, it's all part of the land college. The whole
the land grant mission. Yep.
Yes, and you know the thing is, yeah, every county has a Garth.
Yep.
But the thing is, you're tying into the Ohio State University extension service. So if you don't know about a particular bug that's in all of a sudden in your flower beds, chances are there's somebody at Ohio State that's very familiar with that bug.
Exactly, and even more local than you think. You know, I mean, we've got a bug guy, we call him our local entomologist over in Van Wert County, Curtis Young, who actually was the extension agent here for a long time, until 2009. So, like I said, a great resource. We've got a really wide, vast array of people that know a lot of different things, and then we've also got colleagues across the country, right? That's what we call them. We call them colleagues at Iowa State and, you know, Purdue. You know, we lean on them quite a bit too, and they lean on us for certain things. So some people are better at things than others, and we definitely find them.
So when we're out here at the Allen County Fair, we think a lot about the Junior Fair. We've been talking a lot about it on the podcast, and we've been interviewing some very some pretty impressive young people. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the future of agriculture, because it's, you know, you talk to kids. There aren't a lot of kids that say, "Well, I want to be a farmer." Now it's technology, it's flashy stuff, but that technology is intermingled with agriculture, and so how's the future of agriculture look?
You know, when at a week like this, it's hard not to be, you know, I guess, optimistic about what we see, right? But as the agriculture as an industry, I mean, as a whole, you know, I think there's some challenges ahead, right? And that's any industry, of course. There's some growing pains right now, I think, in agriculture in Ohio, especially in our part of Ohio. There's a lot of I'm going to call it industry money or outside agriculture money looking to invest in agricultural ground because we're not making any more of it, right? So That's one thing that does worry me at the end of the day, because we want to continue some of these family farms or some of these local farms, but there is, like I said, some of that outside pressure, outside money pushing up against that, and definitely coming into this even Allen County area, right? I mean, we just seen 300 acres here north of Lima sold for a data center, which I'm not combating a data center by any means, but it's outside money coming into our industry and taking away some of our production acres. So it's, like I said, that's one thing that I kind of look at that could be, a challenge, but challenges aren't always bad things, right? We just got to find a way around them and continue to thrive in what we do and be good at what we do. But, there's a lot of bright young minds out here at this fair, and I think that's one thing we need to keep looking at. I think one day there's going to be a lot smarter than people than us, right? And they're going to lead agriculture the right way.
Yeah, we talk about this, of course, from the nutrient perspective, but we talk about it all the time, that it's projected that there are going to be another 2.5 billion people in the world by the year 2050. And every day it seems like we lose farm ground, productive farm ground. And so you try to figure out, how do we feed another 2.5 billion people in 2050 with less farmland? And the only way we do it is to get better, to figure out a way to grow the yields. Maybe we can get 2 crop seasons out of something that in the past we only got 1. But I would think that certainly keeps your office pretty busy.
It does, yeah. And, just look at this year, for instance, right? Yeah, I agree with you. We're having an increase in population across the world, and especially in the United States. And, yeah, this year especially, we're going to grow a record corn crop here in the United States as a whole, right? 94-some million acres at a record yield of 188, almost 189, which that blows the previous actual record out by 7 or 8 bushel. So, yeah, we're going to have record yields here. So, like I said, we're getting pretty good at what we're doing, right?
Yep.
But sometimes that can be a good thing, and sometimes that can be a bad thing. And we're feeling a little bit of that pressure right now.
And, and I think the big other change in agriculture is that it's a global issue. All of a sudden you have the Russia-Ukraine war pop up, yep. And it impacted prices in Allen County for fertilizers, for yields that the farmers were earning, because all of a sudden it's not a local supply and demand issue, it's a global supply and demand issue. And so something that's on the other side of the world that impacts agriculture across the entire world.
Very much so, yeah. And that whole altercation or war started how long ago, and we're still seeing repercussions from it. So, like I said, I think you're exactly right when you say that. Things like that are going to affect us for quite some time, for sure.
All right, so let's end on a fun note. So your office is here on the fairgrounds. Mm-hmm. You're walking through the fair every day, right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of fair food out here, Garth.
Okay.
There's a lot of fair food out here.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to have a favorite.
I'm not going to be very fun, right? So I was born and raised in that cattle barn right over there, right? My family still works a shift in this food stand every year.
The cattleman's.
It's the cattleman's, and I love me, and I'm probably going to go against the grain here, but I like the burger better than the ribeye. I'm a burger guy, a cheeseburger guy. I love them. I think when they're cooked right here, they're even better. That's going to be my favorite. I do like some ice cream, though, so for a sweet tooth guy, J&M ice cream over here, the homemade ice cream is very good. I hit them up every year.
And favorite flavor at J&M?
I like the cinnamon flavor, yep. Cinnamon. Right. Very good.
All right, Garth McDorman, thanks for coming in and being in our podcast today.
No, I really appreciate the time and having me here. Thanks a lot, Russ.
And we want to thank our engineer, Alex Wolf, for making us sound good, and our videographer, Ann Decker, for making us look good. We'll see you next time at the Allen County Fair.